Thank you. All right. Welcome to our Tuesday night team call, everyone. I'm so happy to see that this group continues to grow. Today is Tuesday, March 28th, the last Tuesday of the month and the final push to meet our goals for the month of March. I was having a conversation with Jen earlier today, and we still have a good chunk of the week left. So keep pushing towards your goals, even if you're feeling defeated. I'm still pushing towards mine too, and I'm not going to lie, the past week has been hell for me. I got like the plague or something this week, and was down and out. I haven't worked out in 7 days. I have been eating nothing but ice cream and popsicles. So I'm ready to crush the rest of this week. So before we kick off tonight's topic, I wanted to just do a couple of announcements, and Claire, keep me honest, my brain's a little bit mush, but we have our free group currently going. So it's a clean eating group, and it kicked off yesterday. So thanks everyone in the group who joined and is participating. It's been really great so far, and we've got some really good engagement, so that's awesome. And continue to share any recipes that you have. You know, I like to think that I have an arsenal of them, but not everyone likes the same things that I like. So please feel free to share whatever you have as well. That being said, we do have, so I know a few of you are running your own challenge groups, but Claire and I are, yeah, Seraphine, I'll add you after this. Claire and I are running a challenge group again next month. So for anyone who's been part of our challenge groups this year, we committed to running one a month. It may not always start the first Monday of the month, but we'll commit to running 12 a year this year. So we have our next one kicking off next Monday, which is April 3rd. And for any of my coaches on the call, I'm going to add you as admins if I haven't already, so that you can add your people into the group. And we're kind of cracking down this month. We understand the importance of a contract and people wanting to meet their goals for springtime. So we're going to give the people what they want. And we're going to come up with a worksheet for them to fill out to kind of outline what they're looking for from us as coaches. How much tough love do they want, or do they want us to be a little bit softer with them? But it's really important that people meet their goals. And as you guys know, sometimes you need that extra push. So we're going to try to kick that up a notch next month in hopes that people will be really successful. So stay tuned for that. We're going to share that kind of contract worksheet type thing in our team pages, and people can either choose to participate or not, but I would really encourage them to, because crazy things happen when you commit and you go all in, as some of you guys know from following these programs. And then we do have a couple other things that are going to be going on in April, but I think we can save those for next week's call. We'll have another free group and some coach opportunity calls. You guys can invite anyone to those calls. Anything else?
I was going to announce Caroline and Meredith. I talked to them tonight. They are going to be officially leading our free group in April. I'm so excited for the two of them to be stepping up to these awesome leadership roles, which you guys basically already are in. So thank you guys so much. You have a month until then, so there'll be more announcements about that, but we're really excited for you guys.
Thanks, ladies. That's a huge help.
Huge help.
So with that, going to kick off tonight's call, and some of you know this about me, others of you don't, and we'll soon find out. I am a huge corporate geek. So tonight I present you a topic through PowerPoint slides. So I'm going to share my screen, and we'll upload these slides as well so that you can, let me know when you can see. Can you see? Okay. So for me, I am such a visual learner that I'm hoping this will be helpful for you guys too. But really just wanted to take some time. A lot of you are newer coaches who are on the line, and understanding that you're newer and you're jumping into this, you've probably completed a fitness program at this point. You've seen some really great results yourself. You're getting your business off the ground by trying to inspire others to do similar things. So we wanted to walk you through the VITAL process, and what that means is really doing what you've already done yourself and helping others do the same. So we'll go through that step by step, and these are quick slides. I mean, this is not a corporate HR presentation. I promise I won't be that boring. But we're going to go through these, and I hope you find some value, but I do want to encourage you guys, you don't have to stay muted throughout this whole thing. So if you have questions, just come off mute and ask them, and we'll be sure to answer those, because some of this stuff might be situational, and you might say, oh, I had this time where this came up, and now's the time to ask for feedback from all the coaches on the line. So with that, we'll get started. So the VITAL process, I just wanted to call attention to one thing. So you probably hear all the time about the VITAL behaviors, and those are the 4 things that you should be doing every single day. This is not the same thing. So just to touch upon those so that you're aware of the difference as we walk through the next few slides, the VITAL behaviors are your personal development, so things that you're doing to move yourself forward as an individual and grow as a leader every single day. That is a VITAL behavior. Recognition, so that's something I really struggled with for a while, but I've really tried to put on my recognition hat and just recognize anyone on the team or in the challenge group for even a small accomplishment. That's a VITAL behavior. Inviting, so sharing this opportunity of fitness and nutrition with others. You should be doing that every single day, otherwise why are you here? That's what we're here for, so you want to share this opportunity with other people and try to get them on their journey as well. And the last VITAL behavior is being a product of the product. I know from looking at the faces on this call that you all already do that. So that's something that comes natural to you, just as being a Beachbody coach. So you're drinking the Shakeology, you're doing the workouts, you're basically practicing what you preach. So that's not what tonight's about, but I just wanted to outline what those 4 things were, because I know you guys are newer and you're on your coaching journey, and I want you to understand the difference. So step 1 of the VITAL process is getting your customers started. So remembering when you're trying to find customers that you're looking to attract people that are like you. So when I'm looking to help people get started, and this isn't to say if someone reached out to me that I would turn them away, but when I'm looking to get started, if there's like a dude in my newsfeed that rides a Harley, he's probably not my type of person, because I'm not a dude and I don't ride a Harley. So just trying to keep in mind that you're going to make a connection with someone over things that you have in common. Sometimes fitness and nutrition is a common denominator, but oftentimes it's not. So just something to keep in mind. Secondly, in this step, you're gonna develop relationships, and sometimes they might not become a customer until you're months down the road, because you're working on building a relationship with this person first, and that is usually necessary for them to trust you. So sure, you can post your before and afters, but let's be honest, there's Photoshop, and some of those afters probably aren't legitimate. You need to develop relationships so that people trust you first, and then they'll sign up to embark on their journey as well. And once that relationship's developed, that's when you can invite them to one of your challenge groups. I'll be honest with you, there have been times where I've asked people to join my challenge group just because they've liked a fitness post of mine. It's not comfortable. It's way more comfortable to develop that relationship first with people who are like me and then invite them, than to just send off a cold message to someone and say, hey, I have this group coming up, do you want to join? That can be a little bit awkward. So I've shifted my mindset quite a bit in that regard, and I've really seen progress. And then when you're inviting, you're going to talk to them about their goals, and then you're going to set them up for success with a challenge pack, which is what we've all started with. So with your Shakeology and with your fitness program right now, Beachbody On Demand is kind of a no-brainer. Signing them up with a separate program doesn't really make a ton of sense, because a difference of like $20, and they don't get anything with it, like the containers and the meal plans and all of that stuff for everything else. So make sure you're setting people up for success as you're getting them started. So that's step 1. Lots of stuff there, but really important, building the relationships and getting them started. And guys, I can't see the chat just based on how I'm screen sharing. All I just saw was a blank. So if you have questions, just come off mute.
Oh, I was just going to say just a quick plug about, you mentioned inviting off of like someone liking a post. I was going to say that that's something that I still do. I still invite people who like my post. It's not a guaranteed yes. I mean, nothing is ever guaranteed in this business, right? Just because you invite somebody doesn't mean that you're going to get a yes. But you know what I kind of like to think of it as an exposure. I've heard somewhere that, you know, in order for someone to say yes, they need 7 exposures to something. So sometimes that invite might be a first exposure, but one of the girls I signed up this month was because of me inviting her after she liked my first quarter force round back in November. So, you know, something that, you know, it's something that we're not saying don't do, but it kind of goes back to like the thing right before, developing those relationships and maintaining them. So just wanted to say that.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry for the cough and the party girl voice. It's really lingering. So sometimes these might be interchangeable. This isn't sequential. You can kind of shift these around and set things up for the way it's going to work for you. So after you have a customer and you sign them up, they become a challenger. So they're now part of your challenge group, and they're part of any ongoing challenges that you have. And that's something that Claire and I really pride ourselves on as leaders is once someone signs up with us, they're always invited to any groups that we have. It's not just a one and done that they signed up in April, so they get to join our April group. That's not the way it works. They signed up to be on your team, essentially, whether they're a coach or not. They believe in you and they trust in you and they want you to help them through this journey. So keep that door open. Even if they never buy a single thing from you ever again, they started with you and they should finish with you. So keep that door open, keep them in your challenge groups so long as they want to be there, and give them what they want. So this slide I just really outlined getting them results. So that's as much on you as it is on them in a way. So they need you. They're starting their journey. They don't know what they're doing. They're signing up for Shakeology. They probably have never had it before. They don't know how to make it. They're signing up for a fitness program that, let's be honest, is going to kick their butts. So make sure you're holding them accountable, talking to them, and coaching them through that journey, because we all know that first couple of weeks is really tough, and they need that. And with that, celebrate the wins, even the little ones. So if they worked out 3 days in a row and they hadn't worked out for months and months before this, celebrate that. Shout it out in the challenge group and make sure that they know that you're so excited that they're all in. And we want to get them to experience a transformation. So I think all of you, including myself, can attest to how great it is to experience a transformation. And I don't just mean dropping a pant size. It can be a mental transformation. It can be a financial transformation. Whatever the case is with this person, just help them experience something and do whatever you can in your power to get them there, because their life will change as a result. Whether, like, my first transformation was not weight loss, it was my cholesterol. Like, I was on the verge of being put on cholesterol medication at 28 years old, and that was a huge eye-opener for me, and I knew I needed to make nutritional changes, and my coach introduced me to Shakeology, and that was my first transformation. So because of her, I was able to start my journey and experience that transformation and share it with other people. So no transformation is too small. Sometimes, and to be honest with you, that's my biggest one. Sure, the smaller pant size and the lower number on the scale is great too, but at the end of the day, your health is what matters. So keep those things in mind and help people with that. And then lastly, this is the toughest one. So we might be an anomaly because we don't really mind sharing things publicly. We've kind of overcome that worry about people judging us when it comes to social media. Other people aren't like that. It's going to take them a little while to get there, but if someone had a huge win and you think that could help other people, ask them, do you mind if I share your story? Do you mind if I share your picture? And just see what they say if they're not comfortable sharing it themselves. I had a girl, and you guys might remember, she was in our challenge group. Actually, she still is. And I was like, do you mind if I share your transformation photos, because they're that freaking fantastic. And I just think that they will inspire someone, because you're coming in and you had a huge goal and you crushed it in January. And she was like, do you mind just cropping my head off, which is such a weird request. But she wasn't comfortable, and I was like, of course not. That's fine. I don't care. I just want other people to see that it's possible on somebody else's body instead of mine. So try to encourage that. It's not always going to be easy, and people aren't going to want to share, and that's okay, but just try to encourage it when you can. Step 3. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I just wanted to add one thing in there about getting them results, and it kind of actually just goes back to those of you that were on, not all of you guys may have jumped on Danielle's call a couple weeks ago, but it was, I think, on getting challengers started right. About, obviously we want to focus on getting them results too, but it's not just, okay, so moment, add them into the group. There's kind of a process that Nicole and Nicole and I's process might look a little different, but the meat and potatoes of what we say and what we do to our challengers is pretty much the same, of basically sending them an email, like breaking down information about how this challenge group might work. If, depending on the month and the theme of the challenge group, maybe in that email I'm attaching a contract, explaining how to access like on demand, and talking about their program, asking about their goals, whatever, kind of helping them to get set up for the challenge group, so that, for instance, breaking down information on Shakeology, so that like when they come up for the next rebuild, it's not like complete shock and they're canceling on you all of a sudden, so it also starts with getting them started right and then taking them through that whole process too.
Yeah, and I will say to that end, so one of the things that Claire and I did in I can't remember if it was December or November at this point, but a few of you were in the challenge group, and we offered incentives. I think it was December because it was Christmas time and we wanted to keep people like on track. We offered incentives, and they were prizes or they were gift cards. And that was really because we wanted the people in the group to keep going. It wasn't because Claire and I are made of money and have all these prizes and like closets full of things to give away. It's not that at all. It's that we know how hard it is, and it's so discouraging to come so far and then fall off track and get derailed, to take 3 steps backwards. So sometimes you have to incentivize people, and that's one of the things we're going to do in April. We've got some really big prizes up our sleeves this time, because we get it. We understand that people are facing bathing suit season, and like, I don't know about you guys, but no matter how prepared I think I am, I'm never prepared for that. So trying to hold them accountable and like help them reach their goals by getting a little bit creative sometimes is a really good thing. So step 3, transitioning to a coach. So this isn't for everyone. I'm just going to preface that. You guys know this. Not everyone wants to be a coach. Some people just want to drink their freaking shake and they want you to leave them alone, and that's okay. But that's usually because they don't really understand, and I was there. Before I even signed up, I had heard about this opportunity, and I was like, I don't know what the hell that is. But I think I need to be better, and I think probably there's an opportunity for this in all of us in some way, about being a little bit more transparent about what this opportunity is and what it is not. So introducing it in a way that is not terrifying to people and doesn't make them feel like a network marketing salesperson, and letting them know that this is really about sharing a journey and helping people reach goals. Because at the end of the day, as much as you want to sit here and try to spin your wheels, that's what it is. You're sharing what's worked for you, and you're trying to help other people on that same path. Don't complicate it. Be transparent about the value that it's provided you. I just told you a story about my cholesterol. Like, that is no BS. That's real life. And like, I was down in the dumps about that. Share the value that this has brought you from a coaching standpoint, from a challenger standpoint, and as a person. Not many of you knew me. A couple of you knew me before I was a coach. I like to think I was relatively positive, but not nearly as optimistic about life overall as I am now. So be transparent about all of that stuff, and you're going to attract people who are just like you. I think about the people who have recently joined my team, and the people that I've interacted with, and it's unbelievable how much we have in common. Build your tribe, sign people up. So it's not all about signing up people for a discount. It's about introducing this opportunity, sharing the value, and building your tribe and helping them understand what they can add from a coaching standpoint. And that really goes back to finding the like people. So like attracts like. And if I had the Harley guy in my team page, it's going to be really tough for me to coach him along the way because we don't have a ton in common, and I'm not going to know how to tell him, here's how to conquer this obstacle because I can't relate. So build your tribe and find people that are like you. And then get them started right. So I think this is something that Claire and I are really trying hard to work on. So we've gone through, I think it was like 3 different ways of trying to get coaches started right. We fell on our face once, we've fallen on our face twice, and right now we're trying to go through a different Coach Basics training with you guys, and I think that's what most of you have gone through, is the 7-day email training. It's not perfect. Some of those videos are from Kelsey Smith. They're not from Claire and I. We're trying to figure out what works before we recreate all this resources. But get them started with the right way that you feel would help them. So think about what you had and what you would change, and we can work together as a team to make sure that your coaches get started out on the right foot and try not to get overwhelmed. Claire, anything to add before I go to step 4?
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of thinking about the whole transition to coach, like something that Nicole and I, and we've been trying to be transparent with you guys in the team page with some of our announcements, but one thing that Nicole and I committed to in January, other than doing free groups and things like that, we committed to, and we shared this on last week's call about setting up your month. I'm not even kidding you when I tell you that every single month since January, which we have not only marketed for, but we have done coaching opportunity calls every single month consistently. And that's something that was like, when we first started doing our team calls last September, it was like, okay, I know we should do it, but we were scared. We kind of would do them here and there. Ever since I started coaching, like I had done them one-on-ones when people were interested, but I was like, I know I need to do them. I know I need to market them, meaning that if I'm not talking about it publicly, then people are going to come to me. And what I mean is, like, what you post about is what you're going to get in return, So like I always use the example that last March, like I went hardcore and finally started sharing more publicly about coaching, and that's when I signed up and got 2 of my coaches in training. And that's so anyways, so we do monthly coaching opportunity calls. Nicole and I have also started implementing, we do a 3-day coach sneak peek in our challenge group. So those of you that are in our challenge group have seen this. I know there's different ways to do coaching sneak peeks, but we do them within our challenge group because honestly, a lot of you guys are on this call, except Allie is kind of like an anomaly, like Nicole and I, the freaks that started from the beginning. The rest of you guys are all, you guys started as challengers first, and this process should almost feel very natural to you with how we're talking about this, because this is how a lot of you guys frankly got started. So we started doing coaching sneak peeks in our challenge groups. Again, this past month it felt very quiet, and it's something that Nicole and I will continue to tweak and work on. But we want to be transparent to our challengers to let them know that there's an opportunity out here for you. And that opportunity might look different to different people. And I was talking to Meredith earlier about this, and I was saying, there's someone out there that wants to become a coach because this helps them stay accountable to their health and fitness journey. Not everyone comes into this with the mindset of wanting to be their own boss and build their own business. I sure as hell didn't. I just wanted to pay for my Shakeology, right? And what did Caroline say? The team call I jumped on is what sealed the deal for me. Yes. And I've invited challengers to team calls too. And one of those challengers I invited not too long ago was coming to Super Saturday with me. So finding ways to be transparent about coaching in your challenge group. And Nicole and I are frankly now, we even have set up a plan where we are going to post and advertise in our challenge group about the upcoming coaching call. Now, we primarily target, our coaches from our challenge group, because we know those are the people that make the best coaches on our team, because they're familiar with the products, they know the value. Are people that aren't in your challenge group going to make great are they not going to want to coach? That's not true, because again, I'm here, Allie's here, Nicole's here. Loretta's also another one of these. These kinds of things happen too. So I still bring up coaching in some conversations and things like that, but just wanted to share with you guys the other things that we're doing within our own challenge group, and don't be afraid to talk about coaching there too.
That's a great point. So the final step in the vital process is developing and mentoring coaches. And honestly, so as I was thinking about the call tonight, I didn't wake up with this burning desire to create a PowerPoint. But as I was thinking about the call and what I wanted to share with you guys tonight, I thought a lot about how if coaches on my team had coaches sign up tomorrow, what would they have for resources to share with their coaches? And it kind of put my stomach in knots, if I'm going to be honest with you guys, because a lot of the stuff I've shared with my coaches has been through the conversations, posts that I've kind of put in my team page, other people's resources, which are great, and I'm not going to recreate every single thing I've ever seen, but it really kind of made me gut check and say, like, I'm going to create some material for tonight's call because I think that this will help my coaches kick off their businesses if necessary. Who's drawing on my slides?
I don't know how to stop. I don't know.
That's so rude. I put a lot of time into these. No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, how is that even possible?
That's so funny. So that was really the reason behind providing you guys, and we won't do like presentations like this every week, but really when it comes to stuff like this, stuff that doesn't change and stuff that's more of a process related thing, we want you guys to have resources so that you can use these and duplicate them within your teams once you start growing your teams. And lastly, we want to make sure that when you have coaches to develop and mentor yourself, you can help push them towards their goals. So that's super important to us, and we want to make sure that you guys achieve your goals. I was talking to one of the girls on my team this week, and she is really crushing her goals, and honestly, it's made me more happy than any goals I've ever achieved. Because seeing someone else strive forward and like meet something that they really want is no better feeling. And I'm not just saying that, I'm not like trying to be a sap or anything, like, but that's really what it's all about. Like, seeing other people help other people is even better than helping the people yourself. So with that being said, I kind of wanted to bring it all home with just reminding you guys, and Claire touched on this a little while ago, but all of these things that you see and these 6 slides that we put together really are things that everyone kind of does naturally, but it's really just here to be like a reminder for you. And if you're part of Beachbody, you believe in helping others live a healthy, fulfilling life, and you're automatically going to go through these motions. You're going to get people started right. You're going to support them. You're going to try to ask them if they want to sign up to be a coach because it makes sense, right? Like they're crushing it, and you want them to help other people crush it. And then you want to set them up with resources so that they're successful just like you were. It's all natural. Just remember that this is a relationship business and it's not a transaction business. So you can't come into this every day with a checklist and say, okay, I need so-and-so to do this, and I need so-and-so to complete their training, and I need them to do this. That's not what it's about. It's about sitting here and helping people reach their goals, whether those are fitness goals, financial goals, nutrition goals, whatever they are, Success Club goals, it really doesn't matter, but putting those wheels into motion to help people get to where they want to be without being transaction-based and in a what's in it for me mentality. So just keep that in mind and build those relationships, build your team, and you guys will naturally reach your goals as a result.
Yay! Nicole, you're killing it with these team calls, man.
Oh, thanks. I just know how to put together a decent slide.
Right? You should be sick more often. You come up with great content. The one thing I wanted to add too, guys, is, this whole providing resources, duplicating things. I want to be completely transparent and say this is something that Nicole and I, that's our weak point. We honestly, there are times that we feel bad that we don't duplicate maybe enough or give enough or create enough, but that kind of comes from a place of us comparing ourselves to other coaches. And we want you to know that we are always here for you guys. We purposely share a lot of things for the sake of duplicating things, because Rachel Khalil tells me this all the time. She says, when you're a brand new coach, regardless if you're emeralds or diamond or whatever, 90 to 100% of your time should be focused on running your business, and that means vital behaviors. And now that Nicole and I are leading our teams and we're leading you guys, that still means 80-20. So my 20% is on you guys, and my 20% isn't always able to be creating content. So I'm not making excuses. But what I wanted to really say is that you do not have to have all these beautiful, shiny, Danielle-like systems and structures, my team's laughing, in place in order to be an effective leading coach. When I had Diamond for the first time, I had this panic attack of I have nothing, and oh my God, I need to duplicate all this stuff. And honestly, that's kind of what led to my demise last year, because I got so focused on these things that I thought I had to do and make and create, when honestly, I just needed to really focus on my business first. My business always comes first, just like your business will always come first before any of your coaches. And because it's kind of like you can't lead them if you're not leading you. So so just because you feel like you might not have a lot of things to share with your brand new coaches, lean on us. We will help you through it. I promise. It's an ongoing process. It's a never ending process. Nicole and I are always trying to tweak things along the way. One day we will have a beautiful big library of tons of great resources that we likely adapted from Danielle or Rachel or Kelsey or whatever, because that's how this business goes, guys. There's rarely things that we create from scratch. We're always pulling from somewhere, and you guys will too. And honestly, one of the biggest things that I always hold on to is just failing forward when it comes to some of these things. I guess the last thing I'll say too, as far as don't be afraid to talk about coaching on your page. Think back to a lot of, I think everybody had one-on-ones tonight. I think the whole team did. And we kind of started talking about remembering why you got started, not just with your health and fitness journey, but remember why you started coaching. Somebody else out there feels the exact same way as you did when you said yes to coaching. We all have those scary thoughts. If you don't share them in your challenge group, if you don't share them publicly, people will never know. And you'll never have the opportunity to break down those objections. So, anything else, Nicole? Any other thoughts?
I don't think so. No, I feel like I've done so much talking. Probably so annoying. Do you guys have questions?
Was that Meredith's way of asking a question?
Can you guys hear me? I think I figured.
Yeah, I can hear you, but I can't hear you now.
Well, I'm okay. I don't think I can do both. But number one, I'm sorry that I joined the screen. It was an accident. And I was just gonna say, when I was trying to talk before, and you were talking about the coaching thing, we were talking about converting people to coaches, and I remember Loretta and Claire both personally messaging me 2 or 3 weeks into my first challenge group, you're gonna make such a good coach. As much as the first time I was like, hell no, y'all have lost your mind. It really did start planting seeds, and it was that encouragement that I think when the time came to make the decision, I was like, it was already so in my head, oh, I'll be good at it, even though I was scared. So I guess what I'm saying is I need to not underestimate the power of planting now. And I mean, how long did it take me to say yes? 6 months. So
yeah, and Meredith, honestly, behind the scenes too. So that challenge group, that was the challenge group that never ended. It was Lamb Chops Play Along. It was so long. to be honest with you, there were a lot of conversations behind the scenes too, like between Claire and I, like, why is this girl not a coach? Like, she is literally motivating every damn day, every single person.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of like that stuff that goes on too, that we're just like, we can see so much in other people, and we just have to be a lot better about sharing that with people, regardless of if there are challengers or not.
Yeah. And gosh, what was my point about like there are already girls in our challenge group right now that like Nicole and I, like I barely wait like a week or two now. Like there's no grace period. If they're killing it, I'm talking to them. Like I'm not talking to them. And even if they're quiet, like I've gotten the people that you don't prejudge people, even the challengers or people that are, you know, that you're talking to in conversations that aren't in challenge groups with you. Like Allie and I work together. Allie's seen me drink Shakeology and do my fitness stuff forever. And then one day she just walked up to me, you know? Don't prejudge people. It kind of goes back to inviting, just the core stuff of inviting. But as far as your current challengers, guys, Sam, one of my brand new coaches, like she killed it right away. And I was immediately talking to her. So don't hesitate. And guys, we will be doing our coaching calls via Zoom from now on, probably. So our coaching calls will look like this. But don't hesitate, you know, for April to invite people. And I think my last challenge for all of you guys is within the next week, like share something about what coaching has done for you. It doesn't have to be about the money you've gained or how big your business is. You know, a lot of you guys are really cool because like after these calls, we're all hopped up and we talk about our team and stuff like that. But, you know, feel free to share something like that. But like I challenge all of you guys to share like one post this week about what coaching has done for you. That's it. To share about how awesome this thing is.
All right, well, we're just about at time.
Yeah.
Meredith, did you have something to say? You just went away.
Yeah, I was laughing because Caroline will laugh too. That's actually our homework for today for Coach Basics anyway. So it's like 2 birds with 1 stone.
All right.
Exactly.
Well, perfect.
That's great.
Guys.
So we'll see you next Tuesday. It'll be the first Tuesday of April. And I promise I won't put together a slide deck that takes up the entire call, but perhaps we can do something else that's fun.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, keep going out there. Crush this week. Those of you that aren't at Success Club yet, like, don't worry. We've got this. Text me. Share your conversations. Let's just go balls to the wall and let's get together. So, yay. Go team,
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.